Hello, this is Balkis Harun Ar-Rashid from Department of English Education Program. Exactly, I'm in semester 5 at Pancasakti University, Bekasi. Today, I want to explain to you about how to teach students or learners with one method. And here is my method, Audiolingual Method. So, before I explain to you about this method and how to use this way, let me tell you the definition of it. What is Audiolingual Method? But before watching my video, don't forget to like, comment below, also subscribe my YouTube channel so you can get the notification of mine. Okay, let's check this out. Firstly, I want to give you an overview of Audiolingual Method. Audiolingual Method is usually also referred to as an army method. It is a style of teaching foreign languages, usually also referred as a method, army method. One of the most important features of this method is the practice of reinforcement. In simple terms, to encourage the correct use of trait, positive feedback is given. On the other hand, negative feedback is given if an incorrect use of a trait is met. It is similar to the basic notions of behavioral psychology, which emphasize greatly on the idea of reinforcement. This method is primarily about teaching a foreign language without making use of the native language. Hence, this way, new grammatical rules are taught to students who are only exposed to the target language. Using this method, the teacher would tell the students the correct way of using a certain grammatical rules. For instance, the students are expected to repeat. The same structure is followed. The teacher keeps telling the students new words and the students repeat those after the teacher. As self-explanatory as it sounds, this all implies that the students basically are supposed to memorize all what they are being told to say. This is more like a drill whereby the students is expected to keep repeating it until they are able to use the learned words or rules by themselves and in more spontaneous manner. Most important feature of this method is that language is learned mainly through dialect. The reading and writing parts hence are learned at the latter stage. Like every foreign language teaching method, this method has several advantages and disadvantages. The Audiolingual method is a teacher-dominated method. This might serve as a big advantages for the users of this method. On the other hand, one of the disadvantages is the passive role of the learner. This might lead to slight demotivation. So, the conclusion is Audiolingual method is a method whose implementation focuses on the activities of drills, memorized vocabulary, dialect, and text reading. As in practice, students are invited to learn without having to bring native language. Okay, there are 4 keys to success in teaching. First, approach. The second, method. The third, procedure. And the last or the fourth is technique. Want to know about them? So let's check this next. First, approach. This refers to the theories about the nature of language and language learning that serve as the source of practices and principles in language teaching. It offers a model of language competence. An approach describes how people acquire their knowledge of the language and make statements about conditions which will promote successful language learning. Second, method. So what is method? A method in the context of object-oriented programming is a procedure or function associated with a class. As a part of a class, a method defines a particular behavior of a class instance, or it can make a short definition about method. Like this one, a method is the practical realization of an approach. Methods include various procedures and techniques as a part of their standard fare. Third, procedure. A procedure is an ordered sequence of techniques. A procedure is a sequence which can be described in terms such as first, we do this. So, it means that procedure is smaller than a method but bigger than technique. The last or the fourth is technique. So what is technique? Common technique when using video material is called silent viewing. This is where the teacher plays the video with no sound. Silent viewing is a single activity rather than a sequence, and such is a technique rather than a whole procedure. The teaching techniques used in the audiolingual method are as follows. First, memorize dialect or memory dialect. In this technique, students memorize a short dialogue or conversation between two people at the beginning of the lesson. In practice, students play a role in one dialogue while the teacher plays the role of partner. After students learn a conversation or a dialogue formed from single character, teachers and students change roles. Second, backward build-up, expansion drill. Drill is used when students have difficulty memorizing long dialogues. The trick is that teachers divide long dialogues into pieces of parts. Third, repetition drill. Students are required to simulate the teacher as accurately and quickly as possible. The fourth, grammar game. This game is similar to the alphabet supermarket game designed to train student grammar in context, which students can express themselves also in a limited portion. Those on the lingual method plans show lots of advantages. These include, first, students practice useful language from the first class. Second, better pronunciation and increased participation as a result of drilling exercises. Third, the use of visual cues, which allegedly helped to develop the vocabulary. On the other hand, critics feel that the method has this weakness. So, too much attention is placed on the teacher, which is limited to the presentation of only the mechanical aspects of the language and vocabulary direction in structural support. This extensive memorization, repetition, and overlearning of patterns was the key to the method's success, as students could often see immediate results, but it was also its weakness. The method's insistence on repetition and memorization of standard pieces ignore the role of context and knowledge in language learning. As the study of linguistics developed, it was discovered that language was not acquired through a process of habit formation, and that errors were not necessarily bad. It was also claimed that the methodology didn't deliver an improvement in communicative ability that lasted over long term. Alright then, thank you for watching my video. I hope my video presentation is about audiolingual method is profitable for me and for you all especially. Thanks for everything, and don't forget to click like, give your comments below, also subscribe my YouTube channel. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'll see you then.